This is a simplified arrangement of Dark Eyes, a Russian folk song, words written back in 1843 by Yevhen Hrebinka. The music was written by Florian Hermann in 1879. I played here in the key of C minor. I've got it whittled down to just 8 chords. These are meant to be improvised on. In fact, if you listen to any version of it, they all play a little different. It is a song in 3/4 time, but everybody just plays it more with feeling than they do with timing. I heard it the other day watching a Bugs Bunny cartoon where he was fighting a gremlin in an airplane. I kept hearing it over and over. I said, that's a familiar song. I gotta learn that one. Here's an example in 3/4 time at 150 beats per minute. I'm only doing it in 6/8. Starts off with this F sharp, which is the 4th fret on the 4th string, open G on the 3rd string, G sharp, which is the 1st fret on the 3rd string, and back down to G. And I hit my G bass on that G sharp note. You do it again for a C minor chord. And the C minor chord is a C note on the 5th string, 3rd fret, an E flat note, which is the 1st fret on the 4th string, open G on the 3rd string, and a C on the 2nd string. So it's these 4 notes. You're not playing the 1st and 6th string. So these first 2 chords are. The next run is a C note here, G chord, and then a D note. And you move up to this A flat, which is barred, playing your 3rd string as your melody. And with that A flat, you're hitting the C note as your melody, and then the 2nd string. And then you go down to an F minor, hitting a D note as your melody. Between the D and the C there, and back down to a C minor. And then you do your first initial run to a G, and then end like this. G, F, which is the 3rd fret, 4th string, E flat, 1st fret, 4th string, and then back down to C. C minor. So this first run is C minor, and then do everything the same, an octave higher. barred C minor. And then you hit this C note and go to this G chord, hitting a B note as your melody. And this G chord looks like a D chord, it's just up here on the 7th fret. And then you hit a D, which is on the 10th fret of the 1st string. And you move up to an A flat, which is just, and move this D shape up one. Now I bar this so I can get 4 strings there. So far we have. And then you go to the 11th fret, keeping your bar here on the 9th. You go to an F minor chord, hitting the C as your melody here on the 8th fret of the 1st string. And then you're going to go down to a C minor barred where you have this G note as your melody. And then you do your initial run. G, F, E flat, which is 4th fret on your 2nd string, into a C minor. And you can make this C minor here, which is just barred on the 8th fret, the first 3 strings. So the 2nd octave looks like this.